I don't like that one. I gotta get mine back. I gotta redo mine. It feels too churchy. Feels like an organ. I mean, like I'm like the pastors walking down. Not everything's working right here. It's not showing half the stuff, and like the count, there's no count. It's just not there today. So they're like, what does it matter, Dion? You never know how many people are on anyway. So now I really won't know. I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh. I'm not feeling the best. I am dizzy. I'm really dizzy. I was this way yesterday for a good portion of the day. It went away after a little bit. So I'm just, you know, keeping, I want to keep a good attitude today. And I'm going to, the last 2, 3 days have just kind of sucked. So today we're gonna approach it a little differently. Oh, actually, a lot differently. Um, you know, um, one of the highlights of my day is coming on here and doing this. I really do enjoy doing the daily trudge. It's my one thing. It's my one thing that's all mine. Everything else I have to share. Well, except for my higher power, I don't have to share my higher power because it's for everyone. But you get your own higher power. See, it's kind of like when you're growing up. You in this case, you get your own room. Um, I always got stuck with brothers and sisters. Till my oldest brother moved out. Then I got my own room. Then I got my own room for about 2 months. All right. Let's do captions, introductions. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I don't even know if chat is working. So if the counter isn't working, I doubt that the chat's working. So please put chat. I'll check Facebook and sorry, and YouTube. I may have to stop every now and again, as long as I don't turn quickly. I or have to bend down, and then I shouldn't pass out. So, all right. So I do have some readings. I'm gonna put that one there. Give me a second. Um, no, that's just gonna give you sound, Dion. Okay, you're just gonna have to be okay with everything. So if you're chatting and I don't see it and I don't react or anything, I apologize because I'm hoping that it's working though, but I don't know. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna be reading out of the Hazelton literature today, a day at a time. Um, I like my Hazelton literature, um, but you know that, right? There's going to be some requirements, and just when you think that you've given it all, you're going to find that there are parts that you kept. I'm going through that right now. Um, Yesterday, and I needed it. My sponsor reached out to me and pretty much said, Dion, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What is what is the what is going on with Dion? Because he needs to talk to somebody, and it wasn't an easy conversation. It wasn't easy for him, and it wasn't easy for me, but we did it. And I realized some things, and I've been asking God what I can do to be a better friend and a better person, and things like that. And I found out some things. You know, um, He said, Dion, you're good at going on the internet telling people where you're at, but you're not very good at calling me and telling me. So if I want friends, then I need to start. It scares the fuck out of me. It scares me to get close to people. Okay? Because I don't know if you're going to leave or not. And so I've always had a hard time getting close to people, right? Um, so these are some of the things that we find out about ourselves. Um, yeah. So thank you, Ingrid. It's good to see you. Yeah. Um, and I'm actually, Ingrid, I'm actually glad you're here because everybody has been, since I'm off my meds, okay, for day 4. And I didn't know that 20 milligrams of Cymbalta was going to fuck me up this much, but this is probably the hardest part. Um, I hate it. It's like detoxing all over again. Not as bad as alcohol though. But for 9 months, I've been detoxing off of Cymbalta, 120 milligrams, and I'm really fucking proud of myself. But I keep talking to people, and the first thing they say is, "Did you do that with doctor's assistants?" And I'm like, "What do you think I am, stupid?" Yes. Now tell me how proud you are of me. Okay. Compliment me, damn it. Thank you. And I wasn't trying to tell you to do that. I was saying that's what people are doing. And they're being very, very. I missed an appointment today, and I was a, you know me, I'm not gonna lie, man. I said, hey, I'm coming off meds. I didn't fall asleep till the fucking sun went down this morning. Okay. I could not get to sleep. And I usually sleep 10 to 12 hours a day. I think I'm on like 5 hours of sleep. I'm kind of awake. So this is going to take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit. You know what that guy said? He wrote back, he said, you know what? I know exactly what that's like. You let me know when you're feeling better. We'll get together. See, nothing wrong with honesty. I do not need to be embarrassed by anything, right? Okay. Reflection of the day when we speak with a friend in the program. Let me make sure. Nope, I'm on the wrong day. We make only superficial changes in ourselves and give only lip service to the program. Our progress is slow and the likelihood of relapse is great. Okay, now relapse is not just a physical thing. No. I can spiritually or emotionally relapse. I'm going through an emotional relapse right now. I am my brain's like blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna explode now. Kaboom. That's how it feels, and I can't keep a straight thought and things like that. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay. Being emotionally, um, relapsing emotionally. Okay. Well, the thing is when I relapse emotionally, do you know what I am? I'm the old Dion. Yeah, I am. That's what happens. Yeah, there was a little taste of it yesterday. I can get angry. I can get angry. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't like me when I'm like that, but I don't know what to do. If I don't have an outlet, it just gets worse. But I use the wrong outlet. Okay. So I'm going to learn from that. Okay. My brain doesn't. It's still like, fuck you, D. I ain't going to do that. It is. All right. I, it's wrong because I am going to do it. I've already made the decision. The next time I feel like I need to put something up there about bullshit, I'm going to call my sponsor, just like everybody else does. Okay? I'm not perfect. All I'm ever doing is looking for what's wrong so I can fix it, which I kind of need to stop and just kind of enjoy a little bit more. Right? So our regeneration must take the form of a true spiritual rebirth. It must go very deep with each character flaw replaced by the new and positive quality. Am I being completely honest with myself in uncovering the faults which hamper my spiritual growth? Am I beginning to replace them with positive qualities? And that's why I need, it took me 5 years to find that sponsor. Okay, it took me that long. And I looked for sponsors for a sponsor for years, but I got a lot of excuses. I'll just put it that way. Okay, but I get it. I understand. Okay, it takes a special person to be my sponsor. I know that. You're gonna need patience because half the time I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about if I'm calling you. Okay, I do. I have a lot of emotions. Um, and I don't try and control them because the more I try and control them, the more they will go off. So I try and go with them, if that makes sense. All right. I'm going to read out of the big book too. Today I pray, may God's protective hand lead me out of the darkness of my deepest fear, that I could return to being what I do not want to be. Please, God, give me the courage to make an honest appraisal of myself. Please help me cultivate my positive qualities and begin to be free of my fears. Today, I will remember I must be reborn in the spirit. And my brain is not, well, something, I just kind of figured something out. So, I don't know if you notice, but most of my followers, most of my followers, that's why I don't like coming off of these because I sound drunk sometimes. I'll start to slur and shit, and it scares me. Um, I've just never been close to men. Uh, I've never had a man that was willing to stay in my life and be a part of it. So right now, my brain doesn't even believe my sponsor wants to help me. It doesn't believe it. It doesn't. My brain's like, oh, it's just going to be demands and anger, and that's not fair to my sponsor, obviously. Okay, but I'm just telling you what goes through my brain because I don't want you to feel like you're the only one going through it, right? But even in my brain, like, you don't need to call some man tell me how to be. They're just going to tell you what to do. Yeah. See how my brain fights it. All right, bottom of page 62. Actually, let's just start at the top of page 62. Selfishness, self-centeredness, that we think is the root of our troubles. This has been me the last couple of days right here. Driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, and self-pity, we step on the fellows of our fellows and they retaliate. This is what was brought up to me yesterday. He said, Dion, you're stepping on toes and they will retaliate. Okay? What you're doing can lead to lawsuits. Do not do that to your family. See, I'm not scared. Doesn't bother me. I give a fuck less. Come after me. Ooh, what are you gonna get? My computer? Yeah, it's dying too. So I need a new one. This one's I beat the crap out of this one. Not beat the crap out of it, but you know. Um Sometimes they hurt us seemingly without provocation, but we invariably find that at some point in the past we have made decisions based on self, which later places us in a position to be hurt. This is almost always the case for me. This is the I am not going to get away with anything in this life. So therefore, I must become willing to accept whatever consequences. Okay? That's how I kind of live my life. I am willing to take the consequences of my actions now. And that's it. Not all consequences are bad, but that's how people think. We hear the word consequence and we immediately think, something might be bad. Um, just so a little bit blah. Chat may not be working for some people. I don't have a counter or anything. So in case people enjoy. So our troubles, we think, are basically of our own making. They arise out of ourselves, and the alcoholic. And I'm just to say this: they arise out of ourselves, and Dion is an extreme example of self-will run riot, though he usually doesn't think so. I go through this, right? Just like you, like everybody else. And so I need that person in my life that's going to call and say, Dion, stop it. What is going on with you? It was so bad. My sponsor called me, and we don't chase. It's like our number one rule. We don't chase. But he said this was bad enough. It needed a fucking phone call, Dion. That's serious shit. That is serious fucking shit. And if I didn't take it seriously, it would have gotten worse. I listened to everything. I ate that fucking crow. I ate it. Yes, I ate it. I had to. Okay. It was a good dose of humility, and I needed it. See, people would call that tough love, but it's not. Tough love is something different. That is somebody that gives a fuck about you. No, you don't keep messing up on timing, hun. I'm coming off my meds. Who knows when I'm going to go live? Who knows when I'm going to go live? So, no, it works the way it needs to. I don't want you to feel guilty for not catching my lives. You've been listening to me for years. You're one of my good friends. You can't really do any wrong. All right? And I love you, Ingrid. So, don't worry. No worries if you can't catch it, okay? I'm just also used to letting you know I'm live. It's part of the it's like a part of the routine. You and Amber too. No, I tell her too. All right. Above everything, we alcoholics must be rid of this selfishness. We must, or it's going to kill you. God makes that possible. And there often seems no way of entirely getting rid of self without his aid. Many of us had moral and philosophical convictions galore, but we could not live up to them even though we'd like to. Neither could we reduce our self-centeredness much by wishing or trying. On our own power, we had to have God's help. Here we go. This is the how and why of it. First of all, we had to quit playing God. It didn't work. Next, we decided that hereafter in this drama of life, God was going to be the director. He is the principal. We are his agents. He is the father and we are his children. Most good ideas are simple. And this concept was the keystone of the new and triumphant arc through which we pass to freedom. If you're not aware of what a keystone is, okay, so a keystone, if think of an arc, okay, and at the very top there's that one rock that looks different than the rest, that's a keystone. And without that stone, everything falls apart. The whole arc will fall, it won't stay up without that keystone, okay? And that's what we're talking about here. That keystone is God in my situation. Now that I have it fixed in place, I can walk through the arc of freedom. The new and triumphant arc through which I get to pass to freedom. just by saying, I'm not God. By golly, I've been playing God and I quit. Here's my 2 week notice. I'm not even going to give it 2 week notice. I'm leaving now. We're going to give this to God now, not in 2 weeks. Right? Now come the third step promises. You know, we're talking about third step promises and you haven't even done any work yet. That's it's part of the joy. Okay. You didn't have to do anything for God to say, all right. He just wanted you to ask. That was it. That was all that was needed. That was all that was needed. What is up, Mr. Ben? Good to see you. You know what's funny? You came up on my, add this friend, and then I hit it. It's like, I'm sorry, you don't know this person. I'm like, motherfucker. You actually suggest him and then tell me I can't be friends with him. It's like, what the hell? What the hell? All right, so third step promises. If you ask God, he's going to answer. If you decide, I'm not God, and then you ask and humbly do it, this shit will happen before you do any work. Steps 1, 2, and 3 require no action. They only require conformity, acceptance. Okay, why is that? Why do I not I don't give extra shit to my sponsees. I am not a therapist. I used to be. I'm not a therapist anymore. Some things people don't know about me. Okay. Now you know. Oh, I was a CAC, not a therapist. Sorry. CAC is a certified alcohol counselor. I had that weird in my head. So I just wanted to correct that first. Right. So all you got to do is ask. Is that weird? Now, why? Why do I not hand out other stuff? Because you're already going through enough, man. You just lost your best fucking friend. You're grieving. So I want you to write. So I'm going to make you write. So I'm going to put you through trauma. I'm going to make you write a letter to alcohol. What? Not going to do it. No. I follow the book. There's reasons for it. I'm supposed to relax and take it easy, not write a letter to alcohol. I'm supposed to be, even as a newcomer, I'm to be a fucking example. So I go to meetings and I say it still doesn't work out there. And that makes me the most important person in the room. The newcomer is always the most important. All right. I'm going to change this a little bit. The next time you read this, I want you to read it out loud. Go do it today if you can. Okay. But what you do is you change the pronouns to I and me. And watch what happens. The whole thing will change because it's no longer a set of promises. It becomes statements. It becomes fact. Okay. I stole this from a friend. Okay. I have no original ideas. I'm going to tell you that now. Everything I have is stolen. Okay. When I sincerely took such a position, all sorts of remarkable things followed. I had a new employer. Being all powerful, he provided what I needed if I kept close to him and performed his work well. Provided what I needed. Do you need a roof over your head? No, you don't. Do you need a phone? No. Do you need a car? No, you don't. These are wants. These are wants. I need air. I need soundness of mind. Okay. We tend to think that at least I did, that needs were a material thing, and they're not. A need is a spiritual, emotional thing. There are some physical needs, water, food, but most of it is emotional. Okay. I have a spiritual malady, and if I work on my spiritual malady, everything else will fall into place. That's been proven time and time again. Right. Here's the other thing, and performed his work well. There's a condition. Yeah, there's a condition. There's rules to this shit. Do the best you can. Think of it this way. If that was your child, would you treat them like that? No? Then don't treat yourself like that. Now you know why God gets mad at you when you beat the fuck out of yourself. Because he loves you. So do the best that you can, and you'll get those gifts. You'll get your needs met. Then you're going to hit your 9th-step promises, and some of your wants are going to start to come true. Yeah, you'll start to get what you want. A new phone, a new car. One day I was driving to work, and I said, God, I don't need like some cool thing or whatever, but if I could just have a car that didn't have a check engine light on, that I would be happy. And then he gave me a Mercedes Benz. It doesn't have a check engine light on. I got what I wanted. Okay. I'm not a car person. So fucking, I don't care. Actually, I do. But only because my grandson thinks it's cool. Other than that, I don't fucking care. I'm actually just, I'm going to hold on to it. He doesn't listen to my stuff. He's still got 4 more years before he can drive, but we'll see. All right. Established on such a footing, I became less and less interested in myself, my little plans and designs. What I thought was right. See, that's where I get caught up. What I think is right. Justice. Okay. Don't turn justice into revenge. It doesn't work. Just a heads up. Okay. More and more, I became interested in seeing what I could contribute to life. As I felt new power flow in, as I enjoyed peace of mind, which I have, maybe not in the last couple of days, and that's okay. All right. But for the most part, but condition right now it's conditional. I have as much peace of mind as is possible for the situation given. There we go. What does that make it? Perfect? I'd like to think so, but being in pain, it's hard to think it's perfect, even though it is. Yeah. As we discovered, we could face life successfully. That was a big one for me. That was a big one. Look at all the cool stuff that's already happening to you in your life because you said, God, tag, you're it. That was it. That's all you did. As I became conscious of his presence, now this is what happens. When I find the presence of a higher power in my life, I gain courage. That's what happens to me, right? And that goes along with that successful thing. Once I go through a couple things that are successful while going through that in the hand to hand with my higher power, then I gain a little bit more courage. Action is courage. Okay, you're not going to get courage without action. Faith without works is dead. That's what that all means. It's a trust. Okay, my higher power has a love language. It's trust. That's what they want from me. They want me to trust them. Okay, and I'm getting better and better at it. It's all I can do. I'm human. I'm gonna try. One day I'll make it. I'll make it to perfection. We all will. You're dead. but you've made it. That's when perfection happens. Death. Right. I began to lose my fear of today, tomorrow, and the hereafter. I was reborn. There we are. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Some of my dizziness kind of went away. I'm feeling a little bit better. I took some tension headache medicine, so hopefully that helps some. And I'm gonna do my best to have the 6 o'clock meeting today, but I'm gonna go back to bed, even though I won't sleep. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Ingrid, Ben, it was good to see you both. I love you. Peace out, and have a